What's up, guys? So, I have the same old stocks on my page, but I figured I'd set up a new play here. A buddy of mine just told me about it, actually. I didn't do the research on the company yet, but I did hear some great things about it. I can actually pull up the website, and we can look through it together if you want, maybe make for a longer video. But this is ticker symbol iPV. And, right now it is looking like it's getting a correction. It keeps on bouncing between the 1675 and the 1691 on the smaller time frames. But on the larger time frame, on the daily, how we like to play these patterns on our page is we're going to want to buy either the lowest possible position with a stop loss below, or you could buy a breakout. So for me, as you see, we have these two red candles so far. We had this spinning top up here. It looks like a couple days prior, it came up, it touched this previous resistance here where we touched in the past at 1970-ish, failed the attempt above, made a lower high there, and then we made a spinning top and continued down, and we've been continuing down. Now, if we look at the RSI here, it's starting to... looks like it's starting to roll a little bit on the daily, but I still expect us to come down a little further. And, it almost looks like a head and shoulders a little bit on the MACD. And we just had a daily MACD cross. And I'm kind of expecting that we're going to come down somewhere in this range. But the main thing that I'm looking to buy in on, and I am going to free up some cash so I can get in on it, is I want to buy on this trend line. Let's see, if we come down tomorrow and continue down, we would be looking at 16.4. If we wait another day, we'll be looking somewhere between 16.04 and 16.27. I was thinking more like 16.10. I was going to put a buy order in. Now, the reason that I like this is because obviously you can see we have been in an uptrend here, and we've been creating higher lows every time, and we haven't quite made a higher high here, which is causing this little correction, which is perfectly fine by me. But if we can come down here and create a higher low again, then we're going to be off to the races and getting ready to break out of this pattern here. Now, if you see what we talked about in a past video is something I actually learned from a book that I've been reading, and I'm slowly reading it. I got it for Christmas. It's just called Charting in Technical Analysis by Fred McCallan. So I've been learning a little bit more about some different patterns and stuff like that, and things to look for in a pattern. So this pattern here, how it has a flat top like this straight across, it actually shows that there's more buyers, believe it or not, in this pattern. And if you see the opposite, where you see this as a flat bottom, then it's actually more of a bearish pattern, and it means that the sellers are in control, basically. So the flat top is buyers are in control, flat bottom is sellers are in control. So obviously, if you're looking to make money on the upside, you want to see that the buyers are in control, and that's what we have going on here. Now, of course, this stock has came up from $10 and has been, continuing up, and it does look like a potential head and shoulders pattern on this daily. But the fact that it's been trending on this line here is showing me that we could be looking at, if we did a head and shoulders breakdown from here, would be 1557, and if we go from here, you would technically break down below to 1534. So I don't expect it to be going down that low, because we would be breaking this trend here. So if you wanted to make a play on this, I'd be looking for somewhere between 1628 and 1610 as a low. Maybe let's say 1608 to 1610 as a buy order. And you'd have to put your stop loss in case this head and shoulders pattern does play out somewhere around, you could either be cool with the head and shoulders pattern, buy the head and shoulders pattern, hope it gets back up in here. I don't really like to mess around with that. If it breaks this trend, to me, it's going to go bearish. So I would put a stop loss for me somewhere around 1588 to 1595 with a buy around 1610, 1608, depending on how everything looks when it gets down there. So I'm looking for that. Now, if you want to see the targeted move out of this potential pattern here, we would take the measured move from here and expecting that it breaks out like all these other patterns seem to break up. Hey, give me that thing. Thank you. Seem to be breaking out. We'd be looking at a target from right here, and we're looking at a targeted move of around $27. So that's a great thing that I'm looking for. So I am expecting a bounce somewhere in this range, whether it's tomorrow or the following day after, where 1624 would be the low around there, 1632 and 1608. So it depends on if it comes down tomorrow or the following day, whether you get 1608 or 1624. So let's look at the smaller time frames here, see if we can see anything happening. So, obviously looks like a head and shoulders pattern for sure. So if it was going to play out as a head and shoulders pattern, we'd be looking at, you measured the head there, and then you would put it from the point of the breakdown, which is right here, which would be at this given time. If we came straight down, which we didn't, it would have been 1539. But if we look at the RSI here, it doesn't look like a head and shoulders pattern. It actually just looks like an M, or potentially an inverse head and shoulders if this works out the way it is, which this would be the left shoulder, this would be the head, and this could be the right shoulder, and then it blasts up here and creates a nice big W here. We like those juicy fat W's. So, you could wait for that exact bottom if you wanted to, like I'm probably going to do, because that's just how I play shit. But, if I see it bouncing, then I might just change my mind. But let's look at the MACD. We are slowly rolling, but not quite. I want to see this price action get a little lower as far as at least the RSI. If we came down here on the RSI, then started trending up, and we came here to this point, we would still be to this buy point here. I keep drawing the same trend line. Hold on. Meow, meow. Let's try this again. So if we have this RSI come down here in this range, where I'm hoping to be a buyer somewhere in this range, like we've bounced in the past, and this price action comes to my trend line I'm hoping and creates a W there, we're going to end up with bullish divergence if this is straight across here and this is higher on the right there. So, I'm watching for something like that to play out, and that's what you guys should be watching for as well if you're looking to potentially play this thing. This could be a very big W, and it seems like it likes to create W's, which is a good thing to see, because obviously W's are bullish. Now this obviously made an M here, well, you can see right here, and we had the bearish divergence on the hourly, which is bringing us down. It's showing we were straight across in the price action, and we're slightly down on the right there. So that's just some minor shit that's going down. But, it's not like it's like crapping on anything or like falling straight down or anything, which is nice to see because the buyers are here. But we are about to get this death cross right here, which is going to push us down a little bit further. So that's why I'm expecting this to come down a little more. So let's see. But as of right now, it seems like the buyers keep on trying to get this thing around 1670, the 4-hour 20 EMA. And it's very possible that they don't let it come down below. But, I have a feeling that the big money's coming in somewhere in the 1613 range. 1610, which is where I'm going to be trying to pick some up. So this is what I'm expecting. Something like this with a nice breakout. We have this MACD cross on the 4-hourly. That's already has happened. We don't have any signs of potential bottoms here as far as like the candlesticks or anything like that. And let's just try to make this video a little quicker here. Looks like a juicy W pattern on the 45-minute as well. No signs of a bounce yet. More crosses coming down negative, but we will have bullish divergence here if we do bounce on this trend line somewhere in this 1610, 1612 area. And then if we do, then we should be probably looking something like this. And then maybe, boom. And then we'd be having some massive, massive bullish divergence there. So, yeah, keep an eye on this thing. I don't want to expose anyone of my friends on YouTube. I have they were the ones that sent me the link on this thing. So maybe I'll make another video on what it's all about, or you guys can do your own research as well, which you always should do. Never follow what I say or do, because I'm not a financial advisor. I just make a lot of good plays, and this is one of my next positions, so I want to let you guys know ahead of time. So let me know if you guys are interested in getting in on this. If you know anything more than I know, I don't do a lot of research on stuff, but I like to look at the charts and let them tell me what's going on. And I see something gearing up here. So let's get this money. IPV 1610 buy. Roughly, I would suggest like 125 plus shares if you can get them. But see what you can do. Let's get it. Peace.